One time, Mother Yasoda, she was very upset because everybody's coming and complaining that her Lala is stealing butter. But we know that Nanda Baba, he has 9 lakhs of cows. That means butter, yogurt, all these things flowing like river in her house. Why Lala would go to somebody else's house? So why he should go to somebody else's house to steal? We have butter, milk, yogurt, all these things flowing like river in our house. It must be that the servant girls don't know how to make the butter properly. It's so hard to find good help these days. Even 5,000 years ago, Mother Yasoda had this control. So she decided, all right, tomorrow is Diwali. So I will give all the girls day off, and I personally will churn the butter. So then Mother Yasoda, the night before Diwali, she got the sweetest milk of Vraja. Because out of those 9 lakhs of cows that Nanda Baba has, there's 1,000 special cows. And they're fed the sweetest, juiciest grass of Vraja. And then they take the milk from those 1,000 special cows and feed it to 100 very special cows. Then they take the milk from those 100 very special cows and they feed that milk to 10 very, very, very special cows. And then they take that milk and they feed it to one Krishna's favorite cow, Padma Ganda. Just like we met someone the other day named Padma Ganda, I think in Rasa. So you know Padma. Padma means? Lotus. And Ganda means fragrance. Just like we have someone here named Sugandhi, very beautifully fragrant. So Ganda means fragrance, fragrant like a lotus flower. So Mother Yasoda took that milk and she heated it up and she put the yogurt culture in it. Because in Braj, we don't scrape off the cream and turn that into butter. We take the whole milk and we turn it into yogurt, and then we turn the yogurt into butter. And I read one article that milk that butter and ghee that's made from the cream, that creates the bad cholesterol. And if you make it from the whole milk yogurt, that creates the good cholesterol. Since you guys worry about all these things, we're telling you this. So, the next morning, Mother Yasoda, she wanted to churn this butter. Now all the mothers, they know one thing, and those of you who are going to be mothers someday, you can learn something from Mother Yasoda, that as long as the children are awake, you can't get anything done around the house. See, all the mothers are laughing. They know. So Mother Yasoda, with sweet little lullabies, she put Krishna to sleep. Govinda Damodara Lila, Govinda Damodara Lila, Govinda Damodara Lila, Govinda Damodara Lila. And when Lala was sound asleep, then Mother Yasoda, she put all that yogurt in a big pot. It was a very thick pot for churning the butter. And there's a special little rod. We tried this one time in South Africa. We didn't have the special type of rod. Do you remember? In Frankenstein Hills, whatever it's called.
Dragon's breath.
So, anyway, there's a special little rod with little spokes that come out like this, and little spokes like this, and a little like this. And you have 2 pieces of rope tied to the wall, and then you take another piece of rope and you twirl it around like this, and then you go brrr, 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 brrr. And Mother Yasoda is churning and turning, and all her bangles. Because in India, all the ladies, they have so nice bangles. Whenever I come to West, I'm very unhappy. Nobody has any bangles. Tiny little one. But our Indian ladies cannot go outside the house without some bangles. So all those bangles going ching, 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 just like kartals. And this butter churners, brrr, 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 just like this mridanga. And Mother Yasoda, she's chanting the names of her Lala. Govinda Damodara Lila, Govinda Damodara Lila, Govinda Damodara Lila, Govinda Damodara Lila. So, kartals are there, mridanga is there, Harinam is there, so this is Kirtan. Now, Prabhupada told us that when we chant Kirtan, then Krishna, he goes, oh, someone is chanting my name. He said, Radha and Krishna, they go, oh, someone is singing our name. So what we want to do is we want to sing in such a way that Radha and Krishna will decide, let us go see who it is. They're chanting with so much love, let us go and see. So now Mother Yasoda, she's chanting this Vatsalya praying Kirtan, how Lala is going to sleep. This Vatsalya praying Kirtan is going on, how Lala is going to sleep. So he immediately woke up. But now the bed is very high and he's very small. The bed is tall and he is small. So he put his legs over the edge of the bed, but they're not quite touching the ground. But now he's gone down so far, he can't pull himself up either. He's stuck. His legs are dangling and he can't pull himself up and he's crying. But brrr, 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 ching, ching, all this noise is going on. Mother Yasoda can hear him crying. So anyway, anyhow, somehow or other, boom, he dropped down. So then he ran to the butter churning room and he started grabbing the butter churning rod of Mother Yasoda. Then Mother Yasoda saw, oh, this Lala is too hungry. So she placed him on his lap and she began to feed him milk from her breast. And he's drinking milk and she's seeing all the noodle teeth are coming in and she's just in ecstasy. We can't even begin to imagine the great fortune of Mother Yasoda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in his form as a little cowherd boy, is drinking milk from her breast. We can't even begin to imagine what ecstasy this may be. All we can say is, Mother Yasoda ki Jai. And she just forgot everything, seeing the beautiful smile on his face. But in the other room, in the kitchen, she had put some milk to boil to make sweets. And so we read in Srimad Bhagavatam that milk began to boil over. But actually, in their commentaries, our acharyas have explained that what really happened was that milk was thinking that Mother Yasoda, she has unlimited love for Lala. And Lala has unlimited love for Mother Yasoda. He will go on drinking milk, she will go on giving milk, he will go on drinking, she will go on giving, he will go on drinking, he will go on giving. This will go on forever, it will never stop. And I will never get offered to Krishna, so what is the use of my life? So he decided to suicide himself by jumping into fire. So then suddenly Mother Yasoda, she smelt that thing. So immediately she tried to put Lala down, but he's just grabbing with all his hands, almost like a monkey. You know, suddenly he's got 4 hands, just grabbing and grabbing. So anyway, anyhow, she placed him on the floor and she ran to the milk. And we heard in Srimad Bhagavatam, she pulled some sticks out of the fire, she began to sprinkle some milk so that the milk will come back inside. But our acharyas have explained in their commentaries that what really happened was that milk was thinking that Mother Yasoda, she has got the perfection of life. Lala's sitting in her lap drinking milk from her breast. What other thing can she think of? But she's concerned about the devotees. then for her own benefit, she's concerned about the devotees. Because this milk is also devotee, he's going to be offered to Krishna. So that milk was so shocked, seeing the great love of Mother Yasoda for the devotees, he jumped back into the pot. He decided not to suicide himself, he jumped into the pot. Meanwhile, Lala, he became very angry. So, I was drinking milk so sweetly and my mother my Maya, she just ran away like this. So he found there's a special stone, for grinding the spices and grinding different things. That's a heavy stone because this is a heavy pot because there's a little stick in there like this. So that's a very heavy pot. So you need a heavy stone to break it. So he took that big grinding stone and pow! He smashed a hole in that pot. And all the yogurt and butter and everything and just all over the floor, made a big mess. Then he thought, what else can I do? And he saw in the next room, in the storeroom, there's so much butter from the other day hanging from the rafters. So he climbed on top of the ukkal, the grinding mortar, and he untied that butter, and he thought, I better not stay here, I better go away. So he ran out to the courtyard, and he began to eat all this butter. Now, those who've been to Vrindavan, you know that as soon as there's food around, then who comes?
Monkeys.
Monkeys, you all learned, eh? You go across the street and buy your fruit and you're coming with your bag, not neither looking to the left nor right, not paying any attention, and the monkey just comes and breaks open the bag from back and all the monkeys come and your fruit is falling all over the street and everybody's and it's all gone. So first thing you learn is about watching out for the monkeys if there's food around. So immediately Krishna's eating this butter, so immediately all the monkeys appeared. Then Krishna thought that in my avatar as Ram, these monkeys, they did so much service for me, and I never gave them anything in return. They did so much service in my avatar as Lord Rama. So let me give them something in return. So he began to feed butter to the monkeys. Meanwhile, Mother Yasoda, she returned to the churning room and she saw a big mess on the floor and a big hole in her butter pot. And you don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to figure out what happened. There's all these little buttery footprints. Go into the storeroom. There's buttery footprints all over the ukkal, the grinding board. And one pot is missing. And those little buttery footprints, they come back into the storehouse, the churning room, and they go out to the courtyard. So on the way to the courtyard, Mother Yasoda, she grabbed a stick. Now, those of you who've been to Vrindavan, you know that when the monkey steals your glasses or your fruit or whatever, you can yell, you can scream, you can shake your fist, you can do anything. He just sits there with your glasses in his mouth, biting off that little thing with that rests on your nose. And you can yell and scream and he's just there. You don't exist. But if you have a stick, ooh, then he drops those glasses and runs up the tree. So, all of a sudden, Mother Yasoda, she's coming up behind Lala. And all the monkeys, they saw that stick. They all ran up the tree. Then Lala, he turned around. He saw Mother Yasoda's coming with a stick. He began to run. And Mother Yasoda's chasing him. And she's got her big, heavy hips and her big, heavy breasts. And she's just running behind him, running behind him. He's running and running and running. And Srimad Bhagavatam describes that her hair became loose and the flowers began to fall down to the ground. At least that's what we read in Srimad Bhagavatam. But our acharyas have explained in their tika, in their commentary, what really happened. Those flowers were thinking that this Mother Yasoda, she's chasing after that same Supreme Personality of Godhead, that the yogis are sitting in meditation for millions of years just to see the ray from his toenail. And Mother Yasoda's chasing him around her courtyard. We don't belong on the head of Mother Yasoda. Our place is on the feet of Mother Yasoda. They came down to touch Mother Yasoda's feet. Finally, Lala saw that Mother Yasoda, she's huffing and puffing. So then he let her catch it. But he's looking at that stick. in her hand. And he's rubbing his eyes and his kajal, that black ointment, is getting smeared all over his face. So Mother Yasoda, she thought, oh, if Lala becomes too frightened, it's not good. So she threw that stick away. And he's saying, I'll be good, I won't do it again. I'll be good, I won't do it again. Please forgive me. And Mother Yasoda said, all right, I'm going to forgive you. Now we didn't read that in Srimad Bhagavatam, but our acharyas have explained in their commentary that Mother Yasoda said, all right, I'm going to forgive you. First thing you did was you broke the pot. That was a very naughty thing to do. I'm going to forgive you for that one. But this stealing, if you grow up to become a thief, you'll get so many troubles in life. I'm not going to forgive you for that one. And your conspirator in this, your comrade, I haven't got any Russians here, your comrade in this theft was this ukkal, this grinding mortar. So I'm going to tie the both of you up. So then, Mother Yasoda, she got some big rope and she tied it around that grinding mortar and she went to tie it around Lala, and it's two fingers too short. Then she got some more rope and she tied it all together and she tied it around, and again, it's coming two fingers too short. Then she got some more ropes. By this time all of her friends have come and they're laughing at her. Again, it's too short. And they say, this morning you tied a little black string around his waist, and with all this rope you can't tie him up. Because those who've been to India, you saw all the little kids, they're running around half naked and they just have a little black string around their waist with a little kavacha or something there, a little bell. So then Mother Yasoda, she got all these little ropes that we use when we milk the cow. First of all, you know, of course you're from Switzerland, you all know that milk comes from the cow. But Guru told me he never knew. Milk, you just buy it in the store. My mother brings it in a bottle from the store. He never knew it came from the cow. But if anybody, you all live in big cities, so you may not know, but milk comes from the cows. And the way you have to get the milk, they have these udders. And you have to squeeze like this. Now you may pinch, and then she's going to kick, and your bucket of milk and your little stool you're sitting on, and everything's going to go flying. So what we do is we have these little ropes, and we tie it around the back legs like this, and if we pinch, then she can't kick. Because they kick funny way backwards like this. You just pick up the leg and boom! So anyway, she got all of those little ropes, and she tied all of those together. And by this time, all the older Sakis, they're all laughing, you know. And Mother Yasoda comes, and again it's too short. Because Mother Yasoda is angry. Angry means mode of passion, Rajagun. Can we tie up Krishna with Rajagun? We can't even tie Krishna up with Sattvagun. So how are we going to tie him with Rajagun? Then Mother Yasoda, she started laughing. She saw her friends were laughing at her. Then she started laughing. As soon as she started laughing, she transcended all the modes, and suddenly, boom, she was able to tie that knot. Then she left Lala there and she went back to clean up all the big mess. Meanwhile, all the cowherd boys come, headed by Balaram. And Balaram, he looks at this side, Krishna's all tied up to the grinding board, immediately comes. Are Kanaya, who did this? I will burn that person to ashes. You just tell me, I will burn you to ashes right now. Who did this? Said Maya. Maya did this? What did you do? I didn't do nothing. If Maya tied you up, then you must have done something. I didn't do anything. I didn't do nothing. I'm not getting involved. If Maya tied you up, then I'm not getting involved. So then he says, hey Madhu, Madhu Mangal, Batuka. Batuka means young Brahmin boy. He's always called Batuka. Batuka. And Madhu Mangal said, look, you guys always make the plan, then you guys execute the plan, then you guys all run away, and I'm lame, I get stuck behind, I'm the one that gets the blame, now you're in trouble, I'm happy, I'm not going to You guys make the plan, you execute the plan, you run away, and I get in trouble, now you're in trouble. Alright, Stoka Krishna, Subal, come here. Hey, are you untying or are you making it tighter? Because this knot is tied with Vatsalya Ras. And the cowherd boys, they're in Sakhya Ras. So this Vatsalya Ras is more strong than Sakhya Ras. So they can't untie this knot. So then Krishna's, alright, you guys are useless, get out of the way. Then he saw those two Arjun trees are standing there. We all know the history of those two Arjun trees. They're Nalakuvera and Manigriva. Now I always wondered, why Arjun tree? Why not neem tree, oak tree, some other type? Why Arjun tree? Then one time I went to Mauritius. And Mauritius is a tiny little island. Probably the whole country is as big as your greater Zurich area. It's 60 kilometers long and 30 kilometers wide, something like that, 40 kilometers wide. And it's in the middle of the ocean. These cyclones come through and they just flatten everything. They come with 150 kilometer per hour winds. And but you'll see in Mauritius all along the roads, there's these big, tall Arjun trees. Because they have a very, very heavy root system. In fact, their root system, you can see they have like buttress roots, you know, like this banyan tree has roots hanging down, but these come out from the trunk itself. There's like, they look like little walls that snake into the ground. If you go to the Pamplemousse botanical garden, then you can see one that's so tall, and from above my head, the root starts coming out, and they're like little walls on 6 sides, these little walls snaking into the ground. So they have very heavy root system. 150 kilometer per hour wind doesn't knock them over. So this pastime became more sweet, because that type of wind can't knock them over, and Lala knocked over too. It's a very heavy root system. So then, Lala crawled in between, and we heard that grinding mortar got stuck, and he tugged on it, and the trees came crashing down. But our acharyas had explained what happened was the mortar got stuck, so he put one foot on one tree and one foot on the other tree to pull. But as soon as he touched those two trees with his lotus feet, they were immediately liberated. The trees came crashing down. And Nalagriva and Nalakuvera and Manigriva, they came out, they offered so many beautiful prayers, and then they left back for the heavenly planets. So then everyone in Braj heard this horrible sound of these two trees come crashing down. And Nanda Maharaj, he also heard. He came running there to the spot. And he saw these two gigantic Arjun trees, and nothing knocks them over, but two of them are lying on the ground. Lala's in the middle, tied to this grinding mortar. He can't figure out what's happened. He immediately ran there. Now Nanda Maharaj, he's also in Vatsalya Ras. Immediately, boop, he untied that knot. And Lala jumped into his arms. And Nanda Baba said, Lala, who did this to you? He said, Maya. Acha? Maya did this? What did you do? I didn't do nothing. Then Mother Yasoda, she also heard that sound, so she came running. She saw Lala's there in Nanda Maharaj's arms. So she came with her arms stretched out and taking from her arms. So Nanda Lala, he went and hid his face on this side of Nanda Lala. Then Mother Yasoda came on this side and he went on this side. Then Mother Yasoda came this side and he went on this side. Then she went running to her room crying like a cow who's lost her calf. And Baba's there saying, Lala, you go to your Maya now. I don't want to see this rascal Maya. She tied me up like this, she stopped feeding me milk, and I don't want to see her. Come on, Lala, go see your Maya. No, I don't want to go see her. But who's going to feed you milk tonight to put you to bed? I said, you, Baba. And who's going to tuck you into bed tonight? I said, you, Baba. And who's going to wake you up in the morning with sweet lullabies and bathe you and dress you? I said, you, Baba, I don't want to see this rascal Maya. So then Nanda Baba took him home and bathed him. Then he gave him some milk to put him to bed. Then he put him in the bed. Then Lala said, oh Baba, tell a story, then I'll go to sleep. So the Nanda Maharaj said, one time there was a very evil king named Hiranyakashipu. But he had a very, very wonderful child named Prahlad Maharaj. Although he was born in a society of demons, he was a great devotee of Krishna, a great devotee of the Lord. But his father tried to make him a demon in so many ways. But instead, he was preaching to all the children in the school. So the father became furious with him. And he tried to kill him in so many ways. He threw him off a cliff, but all the rocks became like pillows and he just floated down under the pillows. He threw him in a pit of snakes, but the snakes didn't bother him. He tried to have him trampled by wild elephants, but the elephants just placed him on their back and took him for a triumphant ride. In so many ways he tried to kill him, put him in a pot of boiling oil, but nothing happened. So then he was frustrated. And he said, Prahlad, where do you get your power? And he said, oh, foremost of the atheists, I get my power from the same place from you, from the Lord. From the Lord? Where is your Lord? Is he here? Is he here? Is he here in this pillar? And then Hiranyakashipu took his sword and he smashed that pillar to smithereens, and then suddenly Lala jumped on top of his bed and went, "Rah!" and pretended to take Hiranyakashipu on his lap and rip him apart. And notice, I never told this story before. How does he know the end? I never told this story. All right, Lala, now you go to bed. So the next morning, Nanda Baba came and woke him up and bathed him and dressed him. Then Danista, the servant girl, came running. And she says, oh Baba, Mother Yasoda is about to leave her body. And then Krishna jumped out of Nanda Maharaj's hands and he ran and jumped into the lap of Mother Yasoda. Yasoda Damodar ki Jai. So this is the very wonderful Yasoda Damodara Lila. So we have some more time for kirtan. So. Then you're probably wondering, what's the Radha Damodara Lila? I've never seen any elaborate description. But in the Bhavishya Purana, it describes how one time Krishna came for the Kartik Purnima Rasa dance, but he was late. So then Radharani took a golden belt and she tied him up. And she made angry mudra. You know angry mudra? Hands around the hips and toe is tapping. This is angry mudra. And Krishna said, my Mother Yasoda, it was autumn Purnima, so my Mother Yasoda, she made some special festival today, so I had to stay for that. So therefore I'm late. So then Radharani, she untied that golden belt. So that is Radha Damodar. Shri Sri Radha Damodar ki Jai. Hare Krishna. See. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Sweet.